What do you hope God Must Really Love Me tells people about who you are today?
That's a really good question. I'm looking at my son. I'm like, this is the biggest blessing of my life, you know? And then I was like, let me write more about my faith. Let me write about my husband. It feels like those are kind of like the three pillars of this album.
What's it like working and writing with someone like Ed Sheeran?
I definitely have to credit him because he was a part of those like formative years. Shout out to Ed. He's like so talented. It's annoying.
You recently won a Grammy with John Legend and Jacob Collier for Bridge Over Troubled Water.
That session was so wild.
The NBA Finals. You did sing the Star Spangled Banner for game one of the finals.
That night was so scary because there's a shot of me like tapping the mic because I wasn't hearing anything. And it's live TV. I had a mini panic attack.
Something about the way you take the weight off of my heart. Put me back together when the world tears me apart. Then I remember you got me in the middle of your hands. And I know, oh, and I know you're in control.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spout Podcast. Today I am joined by the very special Tori Kelly. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I mean, I love getting artists on the eve of their album drops. Your album,
Yes.
I
forgot.
Yeah. You're like, wait, why am I here? Yeah. No, I mean, it's so exciting
Crazy.
because your new album, God Must Really Love Me, drops tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I got a sneak peek of the album, a sneak listen, which I'm always grateful for. But like the very first thing I heard was your baby.
I had to.
Oh, I loved it.
to.
It immediately set the tone.
Yeah, that's kind of what I wanted. It was very intentional. Because I had that song written. It's the title track, God Must Really Love Me. And I had it written, and then I was like living with all the songs for a bit. And I was like, I feel like this is the intro. It just feels like the theme of this music of just like, God must really love me. Like I'm looking at my son. I'm like, this is the biggest blessing of my life, you know? And it just felt right to have him just kind of sit on my lap. And I was like, whatever you want to do while I'm recording this. And sure enough, he's just like babbling throughout. And I was like, I'm keeping all of it. It's so great.
God must really love me. Look at you. I mean, look at you. You're my favorite blessing. You know it's true. Just look at you.
It's so great. I mean, it was such a awesome introduction to the album.
Oh,
Did you
thank
put him
you.
as a credit on the song?
You know what? People keep asking me that, and now it's making me want to go back and be like, shoot, did we not credit him? He needs like background vocal credit.
I think of Blue Ivy because like she ended up getting a Grammy because they credited her on.
I'm like, is it too late? Can I edit that?
I don't know.
He might be like background vocals.
We can make him the youngest with the Grammy one day.
Yeah, I know. That'd be awesome.
So tell me about this album. I mean, I think like a lot of people immediately are like, oh, is this a gospel album because of the track? But like once you listen to it, you realize it is not that at all. It is so much more. It's got so much flavor. It's got R&B. We've got like pop. We've got a little bit of gospel in there, but a lot of soul. I mean, it's really gorgeous. So tell me about this album.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I think anyone who kind of has followed my career, I have kind of dipped into so many different genres, and every single album of mine is, you know, very me. But this is, I think, the first time where I've sort of like, I've tried to kind of mash all of it together like in one place because I am so inspired by, you know, gospel music, R&B. I love pop music. And so there's a little bit of everything. I've always felt like my voice, you know, is sort of the glue with all of it and the way that I sing. And I always try to, you know, put that soulfulness like into everything that I do. So with this album, I was just like, let me try to kind of blend everything and have it be in one place. And really like theme wise, you know, of course, like we talked about, I just became a mom. So that was like crazy inspiration that I wasn't expecting at all. I knew sonically what I wanted the world to feel like, and you know, I want it to be more like just organic and like more live instrumentation and stuff on this album. But lyrically, I surprised myself when I started just writing about my son, and then I was like, let me write more about my faith. Let me write about my husband, who I've been with now we just celebrated 8 years married, 11 years together. Thank you. And so those 3 things, like motherhood, faith, marriage, it feels like those are kind of like the 3 pillars of this album. And I'm just so proud of it. I feel like it's just very, like, it just represents like where I'm at right now. And these songs are still very fresh because, a lot of times it can take a long time to make an album, and you're figuring out the sound, and maybe even like years go by where you have all these songs that you're trying to edit down for an album. And this was so different for me. It was like some songs were from last year when I was super pregnant, and then basically 80% of the album was done like top of this year.
Oh, wow.
When I had a 2-month-old, and I was just like, here's the album, everything's done. Like, here's the creative, like boom, boom, boom. And it just, so I still feel every lyric of this album. Like, I'm very much inside the song still. So that's been really awesome too, to just let it go into the world. But it's like,
still close to you.
Yeah, it still feels very, very lived in.
One of the singles is Dive, and you mentioned, your husband, and in the video, it's like really beautiful testament to your family, your husband, your baby.
Maybe we should dive. Can we fall till we can't see the sky? We'll never know if we don't try. And who cares if we don't get it right? When I'm with you, I'm ready to die.
And I think, like, for long-time fans of Tori Kelly, we can't help but go back and think about Dear No One and the girl that wrote those lyrics to the woman that you are now. Do you ever kind of look back and like just kind of see this this trajectory that you've done?
Yeah, I mean, my fans love reminding me about Dear No One. I forget, because I forget like how much music I've put out. I think as an artist, it's like, it's so fun to be able to like step into each era and really let that be, I don't know, like it kind of takes over. And then I forget, like, oh yeah, there's some through lines here. Like there's little, Easter eggs even on this album that I didn't even realize I'm pulling from like an older song. But I see the Dear No One comments like every time I post, a baby or my husband. It's really cool. I mean, I was 18 when I wrote that, I think, which is so wild. But I was little 18-year-old Tori was like dropping
some bangers.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's kind of wise. Like, okay.
Wise behind your years.
So if you're out there, I swear to be good to you. But I'm done looking for my future someone. 'Cause when the time is right, you'll be here. But for now, dear no one, this is your love song. Ooh, oh.
It's kind of crazy. Like, I feel like, you've mentioned that you've been doing this for so long. You've been in this industry for such a long time. And I feel like your voice has lived such a long time online and gone viral for so many different reasons. But I feel like there's always that moment where someone sees something and they're like, oh, dang, she can sing. And it's like, where have you been? Like, so is it always, like for you, like, does it feel funny that you kind of keep reminding people of like your vocal prowess, like almost every time you drop something?
Yeah, the internet is funny because I think I started my career on the internet, so yeah, you can go down rabbit holes, and I definitely have a lot of content out there at this point. But yeah, it still is, it's kind of cool. I mean, it's a big world, obviously, like not everyone knows who I am. And so that's fun to me. I think I found myself in this cool place right now in my career where I kind of feel like young and old at the same time, where I know I'm not old, like I'm still young, but I've lived enough life where I can, like maybe share some of the knowledge that I've had, like some of my experiences with like the younger generation. They're like asking me, what I've done in the past. Like I can see that younger generation kind of looking up to me, which has been cool and weird because I'm like, you guys were like babies when I first started, you know? But yeah, and just people that like grew up watching my videos. So that's been cool. But then I feel young still because, you know, like you said, there are still people that don't know my music or know my voice. And that's just awesome because I feel like I'm kind of like still a new artist in a lot of ways. Every time I put out a project, I get that giddiness as if it's like my first album again, which I think is good. I think it's healthy because that means I'm not jaded. You know, I'm like still excited to be doing this. So yeah, I kind of feel like I'm in this cool like sweet spot right now where I've like done a lot of things, you know, learned so much, but I still have like a lot that I want to do and, you know, and more music that I want to put out. So it's been fun.
We'll take all the music from you, Tori.
You.
We spoke about, you know, kind of a full circle moment with Dear No One and Dive. And then you also recently had another full circle moment when you and Ed Sheeran performed I Was Made for Loving You. And, you know, this was 10 years after you had initially wrote it. And this was, you performed it like in a stadium while you're opening for him on the European tour. How does that feel for you? I mean, as a new mom, as an artist, like just this insane kind of full circle moment for you.
It was wild. Yeah, this was, last year I opened up for Ed, which was so fun. It was kind of like a dream tour to be on while pregnant too. Cause like, I don't know, there's just, I mean, Ed has his kids, like he's a very like family type of guy. Everyone on the tour was just so sweet and just like taking care of me. Just like there's this like humility, kindness thing going on with that camp. So it was like I got there and I was like, this is so perfect because it's very chill too. So like to be pregnant and like getting bigger and bigger throughout the summer it was so great to be surrounded by those people. But yeah, definitely a full circle moment. I mean, every time he was so gracious, like to, you know, to have me come out and we would do it. In front of, gosh, it was like 80,000 people sometimes at these shows. And his stage like goes in a circle, you know, so we would just be standing there, which was also nice because being pregnant, I was like,
you're not trying to move.
This is a lot of stage to walk. But yeah, we would just be there and we would just be like rotating. And I'm like, there's more people. It doesn't ever end. So I mean,
80,000 is pretty insane.
Nuts. And he's the type of guy too, like, he's so chill. I'm sure everyone says this about him because he's just like so cool and down to earth that you'll be talking to him and then you like forget how famous he is.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you're just about to casually, you know, go do a stadium. Like, it's fine. But it was such a fun tour, such a full circle moment. Like, yeah, it was really special. And I could tell it was just like we both thought it was cool that we finally got to perform that one live.
I won't scar your young heart. Just take my hand, 'cause I was made for loving you. Even though we may be hopeless, hearts just passing through. Every bone screaming, I don't know what we should do. All I know is, darling, I was made for loving you.
What's it like working and writing with someone like Ed Sheeran? I mean, you've written so many incredible songs, so I imagine you have a lot of arsenal of writers, you know, that you've worked with. But obviously Ed is a prolific songwriter on his own. Yeah. So what is that process like with him?
So it's interesting because when we wrote that, I felt so new to collaborating with people. Because at that time, I think this was 2012 that we technically wrote the song, even though it came out 2015. But this was like my early like EP days. So I wasn't really writing with a lot of people. I don't think really anyone at that point. I was really like doing everything myself. So I actually really credit him for like even me learning and like learning from him, you know, as a songwriter, because I didn't really know how to collaborate. And I just remember thinking like, dang, he's so fast. Like he's just coming up with melodies and lyrics and just like the song's done. I'm like, oh, sick. Like it was still collaborative. Like I was kind of, you know, I was doing my thing, but he was like keeping me on my toes, and it's just him and his guitar. But it's crazy to think back because I think I've grown so much since then as a songwriter, but I definitely have to credit him because he was a part of those like formative years of me even learning how to co-write with somebody and, you know, not be scared of like bad ideas, because you have to just like start talking and get ideas out there. Otherwise, you know, it's just a room full of people like being like hesitant, and then you get nothing done, you know? And I feel like all the good ideas come from bad ideas, actually.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that you subscribe to that. Like there's no bad ideas.
Yeah, I really don't think so. I used to think so, but now it's sort of become this thing that's like, you got to like loosen things up and just throw things out there. And then sometimes you'll say something that sounds silly, but then it like leads to another thing. You're like, oh, that's actually great. So yeah, he definitely, you know, shout out to Ed. He's like so talented. It's annoying.
Like speaking of collaborations, you know, sometimes I go back to that video that was like from 2020 of you and Justin Bieber and Shawn Mendes, and you guys were like jamming around a piano.
Yeah.
And I don't like it just felt like such a special, like I felt like a fly on the wall, like listening to that.
Funny. Yeah.
And obviously, you know, you and Justin have released a couple songs together, and I'm like, could there potentially be a new collab at some point?
Yeah, I mean, I would love that. I've always, you know, I love Justin. I think I love his new stuff. Like, I think he's really in his bag right now. Like, it's so cool to see, him just, you know, make the musical decisions that he's making, and just, you could tell he's like loving it, which is really, really awesome. I'm such a fan of the new albums. And I would love to collaborate again. We've done a few. I guess I'm trying to think. It's been like,
I think you've done 2.
Yeah, I guess we've done 2.
Yeah.
I've like known him for so long, so I'm like, I don't remember if we had stuff before that. Yeah, you're right. You know more than me probably.
I think there's 2. I feel like because your fans will correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, because there was like the Easter project he did. Yeah, Where Do I Fit In? That was fun. That came together so fast. It was crazy. And then we have Name, which was fun too. Yeah, I'm super down. All that to say, super down.
I think
more.
Another collab that you've spoken about maybe potentially getting, and someone you've also performed with on stage a few times, is Ariana Grande.
Oh, love.
I like because your voices are so good together.
Oh man, I know. We need to do something like official. Yeah, because I think we only sang together that performance time, but we've talked about it. Like, we've kind of like hinted at it a few times, but we need to figure something out. She's so amazing, obviously, like one of the best voices. So yeah, that'd be fun to try and figure out.
Yeah, I mean, both of you are just like such powerful pop powerhouses.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I would just love to see that. Speaking of powerful powerhouses, is you recently won a Grammy with John Legend and Jacob Collier for Bridge Over Troubled Water. Yeah. And I feel like that's such a singer song, you know, like where it's like these 3 insane vocalists. Yeah. I mean, when you're doing a song like that, when you're in the studio recording a song like that, is there ever that feeling for you that like, oh, this is special?
Yeah. Well, yes and no. Like that session was so wild because Jacob was in town. You know, he doesn't live in LA, so he was like, I'm flying in for like a second. I think he was like having to turn in the album like that night or something crazy, and he was like, I really want to put you on this and da. So I was like, I'm super down, but I have to perform with our other mutual friends, actually, a band called Lawrence, who we love. They're so good, and they were opening for the Jonas Brothers, and they asked me to come out for their set. So I was like, Jacob, I'm super down, but I committed, you know, to this thing. So I only have an hour. Like, if you can come to my house and we can knock it out, I'm so down because I love you. Like, always love collaborating with him. And so, and I knew that he, like, the way his brain works, I was like, he's gonna do this in that short amount of time. I know it will be fine. And so he came, and that hour was such a blur because what I didn't realize was I didn't know like what he was gonna throw at me, like the runs and everything. Like, he had it all mapped out. He was just like, he had like a scratch vocal, and then he would play it and then be like, okay, yeah, you can like switch what you want, you can do what you want. But I was like, this is insane. Like, I'm right now thinking back to that day, and I'm like, what even happened? Because he filmed it actually too. There's like clips of it, and you could see him just like giving me runs. And we have this like shorthand too, where we're kind of inside each other's brains, I feel like.
Think blues, like, oh, like, oh. But then it cuts short, it goes, oh. Yeah, exactly.
That was it?
Yeah, that was it.
He keeps me on my toes for sure because the stuff in his brain is nuts. He's on another level. But then, so I guess to answer your question, going back, I think there was a part of me that was like, I don't know what's going on. I gotta get ready. I'm just singing without thinking because he's throwing stuff at me. And we only had an hour. And then there's a small part that was like, this could be something really, really crazy. Like this could be really special. It just felt like a really unique moment. You got me like going back to that day. That's why my brain is like,
no, I love that,
slowing down. But yeah, all that to say, it's like, I'm just such a fan. He's so talented. And then John Legend being on that, Yeba being on that is just like, it's kind of like a dream song to be a part of, you know?
Yeah.
Shout out to Jacob.
No, I mean,
having me do the most.
Such a dream. The Grammys were like, yep, this is the one.
Yeah.
What a moment.
It was nuts. Yeah, it was special.
Another big moment. We are in New York, so I would be remiss not to talk about the NBA Finals, only because you did sing the Star Spangled Banner for game one of the finals. So how I mean, first off, like, you know, for such a prolific song that you've sang many times, but is there a point where you're doing something like that at the finals and you're standing there and you're like, how much Tori do I put in this? Or do I have to stay like kind of, you know, pure to it because it is such a prolific song? Yeah,
I'm really glad you asked that because that's something I am thinking about a lot. I guess like to peel the curtain back a little bit. Yeah. I kind of like, it depends on the event. So I feel like there's certain sports or certain events where I can just tell that I should like keep it a little straighter and not, or more like traditional, I guess, stylistically, which I love doing. Like I think the song, you know, it's beautiful as is, like just keep it as is, you know, people want to sing along to it. And then there's something about the NBA. I just feel like people have historically like put their own spin on it. Yeah. Like, so it's kind of, I feel like I'm kind of given a little more permission there. It's like this unspoken thing that I've just noticed with the NBA. So when I got there, I was like, I'm going to try to just kind of, you know, do my little Tory thing, I guess. Still not too much. Like I do love keeping it, you know, I don't ever want to like overdo it, but like I wouldn't do like Bridge Over Troubled Water type runs on national anthem. but yeah, it's definitely something like intentional that I'm thinking about on when it comes to the anthem. Yeah. But that night was so scary because I don't know, I think the camera was on me. There's a shot of me like tapping the mic because I wasn't hearing anything. And I guess the people, like from my vantage point, there's all these people with headsets and they also start like scrambling and apparently weren't getting, there was something wrong with the sound. Like they weren't hearing anything either. And it's live TV. So I can hear the guy like announcing me and I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, you guys, like I'm not gonna, like I don't want to just stand there because they're telling me like, oh yeah, hold off. And I'm like, well, if he announces me, I'm not just gonna like stand there. So I had a mini panic attack, but at the last second, it worked. It turned on. Yeah. Whew, yeah.
And you turned it on too. That's so terrifying, especially with live TV.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was like, what would I do? And part of me was like, do I just start singing, like, so they know it's not me messing up?
Right,
like,
right. You're like, this is not my fault.
Yeah, exactly. So, but thankfully, yeah, it worked out. Ooh, I was so nervous though.
Yeah, no, I mean, you killed it.
Thank you.
We knew you would, but yeah, I was always thinking, I'm like, you know, as an artist, obviously, who has such incredible vocal stylings, it's like, how much are you like, I'm just gonna go ham on this one.
yeah. It depends. It depends on just time and place, I guess.
I know you have to go, so one last question. So if someone has followed every era of Tori Kelly, from the YouTube covers to American Idol to the Grammy winner to Motherhood and now to this album, what do you hope God Must Really Love Me tells people about who you are today?
That's a really good question. I think I love how you phrase that too, because I think when I look back on everything I've done. I would hope it's kind of a twofold answer, because I think when it comes to like knowing me as an artist, as a person, I think this album is really me like planting my flag in the sand of being like, call it simple, call it, you know, whatever you want to say. Like, this is me. These are the things I care about. These are my priorities now. Like there's a piece, I think, now that's always been there in my life, but I think now I'm like letting it be in my music more, you know, and like really just leaning into, you know, my faith, my family, like these really just foundational parts of who I am. It's what I care about most. It brings me so much joy. And so, yeah, I think like, I think this album, I would hope this album, you know, allows people to just, get to know me a little bit more. But then on the other side, you know, it's called God Must Really Love Me. But I think I would hope that people can look at their own lives too and be like, okay, you know, what are the blessings in my own life? And, you know, maybe it gives them a little bit of hope or peace, like if they're going through something. I think that's always like my goal is to, the music starts with me and it's like my form of healing and therapy. But once I put it into the world, it's like so cool to see people reacting to it and, you know, I guess like interpreting it in their own way and, you know, allowing it to be the soundtrack of their lives. And so, I would hope that people could say God must really love me to, you know, to themselves as well. So it's those two sides.
I love that. Well, God must really love me because I love Control. I've been like playing it nonstop. I was like, this is a banger.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Something about the way you take the weight off of my heart. Put me back together when the world tears me apart. Then I remember you got me in the middle of your hands, and I know, and I know you're in control.
Do you have a favorite song on the album? I know it's always a tough question because
it's
it probably
so hard.
changes.
It does, especially once I start playing them live.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, I like this one live. Man, I feel like right now, if I had to pick, Too Much is up there for me. That one's like fully about my son. So like, and he's just like so cute. So I look at him and like, and he's on that song too. Like I included his like cries, like from, I actually took like the birth, like the audio from the birth is on there. So it's a very like intimate moment that I put on there.
He's a big boy. He's a big boy, yes.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
There's little things like that kind of sprinkled throughout. Too Much is a vibe. Dang, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. I love Fly too. Fly is a fun one.
Well, everyone can listen to this when the album drops tomorrow. Congratulations. And
Thank
also,
you.
I do think you need to put his name on there as a credit.
I know. I'm literally gonna double check right now with my team.
Thank you so much, Tori. Congratulations again.
Thank you. Appreciate it.